Welcome to the deep dive. The NBA playoffs, they're finally here.
They are indeed.
And wow, after just one round of games, things are already, well, getting pretty interesting.
That's for sure. A few surprises, a few expected outcomes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So today, we've got a full slate of Game 1 results to break down East and West. We'll look at, what these first games might signal for the rest of the series.
And how our pre-playoff predictions are holding up so far. Or maybe not holding up.
Right. We'll definitely revisit those from our Metis podcast predictions. So 8 games down, let's dive right in.
Okay, sounds good. Where do you want to start? East.
Yeah, let's start East. First up, Knicks hosting the Pistons, April 19th. Knicks took Game 1, 123-112.
Right, at MSG. OG Anunoby had a nice game, 19 points for the Knicks.
Yeah, efficient too. Karl Anthony Towns chipped in 10. Now, we predicted Knicks in 6 for this one. We saw it to be physical. Does this Game 1 win change anything for you?
Not drastically, I don't think. I mean, getting the win is key, obviously. But 112 points for Detroit on the road, that suggests they hung around?
True.
Our prediction leaned on it being a tougher, more physical series because of Detroit's defense and their inside scoring potential. So a Knicks win fits, but the score keeps that Knicks in 6 idea alive for me.
Okay. And Anunoby's efficiency, like you mentioned, 19 points on just 11 shots.
Yeah.
That's big if Brunson maybe has a quieter night scoring-wise, which he kind of did with 11 points.
Exactly. Depth scoring matters.
All right, next up, Celtics versus Magic.
Yeah.
Celtics won 103-86, per which is expected rate.
Yeah, that felt like the script. Boston's talent, their depth, it just seemed like too much for Orlando eventually.
We had Celtics in 5. Does this big win just lock that in for you?
I think it reinforces it, yeah. You saw maybe moments where the Magic hung tough, but then Boston just kind of finds another gear.
Right.
Their offense comes from everywhere, and defensively, they can really lock teams down. It feels like a tough matchup for a young Magic team over a full series.
Makes sense. Okay, now for maybe a more surprising one. Pacers beat the Bucks, 117-98.
Yeah, that was definitely an eye-opener. Pascal Siakam led Indiana 25 points.
And Tyrese Halliburton, maybe not huge scoring, but 12 assists. That's his game.
Totally. And look, we made a bold call here, didn't we? Pacers in 7.
We did, an upset special.
So this Game 1 win, especially with Damian Lillard out for the Bucks, it feels pretty significant for that prediction.
It really does. Does it almost make you think maybe not 7 games now?
It could. I mean, the Pacers won decisively. It wasn't just scraping by because Lillard was out. They got good looks. Siakam was aggressive. Halliburton ran the show. If they keep that up, that upset pick looks increasingly possible, maybe even quicker than 7 if Milwaukee doesn't adjust fast or get Lillard back soon.
Interesting. Okay, rounding out the East. Cavaliers versus Heat. Cavs won comfortably, 121-100.
Yeah, pretty straightforward one there. Cleveland just looked like the better, more consistent team.
We predicted a Cavs sweep, 4-0. Does this Game 1 just cement that feeling?
It kind of does, yeah. The Cavs team play, their balance.
Yeah.
It was just too much for Miami in this first game.
So Miami needs huge games from Harrow and Bam.
They absolutely do. If those two don't consistently put up massive numbers, it's really hard to see where Miami gets enough points to win multiple games. The sweep prediction feels, well, pretty solid right now.
All right, let's switch over to the West. Timberwolves went into L.A., beat the Lakers 117-95.
Big road win for Minnesota.
Huge. And that's despite Luka Doncic going off for 37 points for the Lakers.
Yeah, Luka was incredible, but it didn't matter in the end. Minnesota's game plan just seemed to work better overall.
Now, we picked Lakers in 6 for this series, this Game 1 result. That has to make you second guess, right?
Oh, absolutely. That Minnesota physicality, it looked like it really bothered the Lakers. Even with Luka scoring like crazy, the Wolves had a more balanced attack, and their defense made an impact. If the Lakers can't figure out how to handle that physical play and get more guys involved consistently, then yeah, Lakers in 6 might be looking shaky. This could be a much tougher, closer series than maybe we first thought.
Okay, next up, Thunder versus Grizzlies. And, wow, Thunder won 131-80.
Yeah. Wow is right. Just a complete demolition. Aaron Wiggins actually led OKC in scoring with 23.
Off the bench.
Yep. Shows their depth. They just looked incredibly sharp, incredibly dominant.
We predicted a Thunder sweep here. I mean, a 51-point win.
No.
Doesn't get much more supported than that, does it?
It really doesn't. It's hard to argue against the sweep prediction after seeing that. OKC looked so prepared, moved the ball, well, what, 36 assists?
Yeah, incredible ball movement.
And their defense just smothered Memphis, forced tons of turnovers. It looked like a mismatch, plain and simple.
Do you expect the Grizzlies to bounce back at all? Or
Oh, I expect them to play harder, absolutely. More motivated. But bouncing back enough to win games against this Thunder team after that kind of loss, a sweep feels very much on the cards.
Gotcha. Now, maybe the biggest surprise or upset of Game 1, Warriors beat the Rockets 95-85.
Yeah, that one was interesting. Lower scoring game. Golden State grinds out a win on the road.
And we picked Rockets in 5. So this result definitely throws a wrench in that prediction.
It certainly does. Seems like that Warriors experience, that playoff know-how, it really showed up here. They won ugly, didn't need some offensive explosion.
Right. So what does Houston need to do now? Our prediction was based on their youth athleticism.
They've got to figure out how to score more consistently in the half court, especially in those tighter playoff possessions. They need to use their size and speed better against that veteran Warriors team, losing Game 1 at home. That's a big blow to our Rockets in 5 idea.
Yeah, definitely puts them behind the 8 ball. Okay, last series. Nuggets versus Clippers. This one went to overtime in Game 1.
It did. Denver ended up getting the win. Close game, tight finish.
Exactly what you'd expect from these two, maybe. But we predicted a Clippers upset here, Clippers in 6.
We did, based on thinking if the Clippers were healthy, their defense could really bother Denver.
So Denver winning Game 1, even in OT.
Yeah.
That makes our upset pick look a bit less likely now, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. The fact it was that close shows it's going to be a battle, for sure. But for the Clippers to pull off the upset, they probably need Kawhi and PG to be fully healthy and just playing at an elite level, consistently outplaying Jokic and Murray down the stretch.
And Denver, holding serve at home, even in a tight one, that's a big first step for them.
Huge advantage. You don't want to lose Game 1 at home if you're the favorite.
Okay, so beyond just the wins and losses, let's touch on a few standout individual performances that maybe tell a story. You mentioned OG Anunoby for the Knicks' efficient scoring.
Yeah, and even with Brunson having a relatively low-scoring night, Anunoby stepped up. And Towns, while his scoring wasn't huge, his rebounding presence is something we expected to be key for the Knicks' physicality. Need to keep an eye on that.
Good point. And for the Pacers, Siakam taking charge offensively right away with 25.
That's massive for them. Establishes him as the go-to guy early. And like we said, Halliburton's 12 assists, he doesn't need to score 30 to completely run the game. That balance makes Indiana really dangerous.
Definitely. Then out west, Luka's 37 and a loss. Still, it shows he's going to put up numbers no matter what, right?
Oh, yeah. He'll get his. The question is, can the rest of the team provide enough support against that tough Wolves D?
And for the Thunder, Aaron Wiggins leading them in scoring off the bench, that just highlights their depth again.
Exactly. It's not just the SGA show. Even though Shai still had a good floor game, good playmaking, even if his shot wasn't falling like crazy, they have multiple guys who can step up.
And you mentioned maybe Desmond Bane missing open looks for Memphis. That could be a sign of OKC's defense disrupting rhythm.
Could be. Sometimes it's not just steals and blocks, but just making shooters uncomfortable, rushing them a bit. We saw maybe some of that.
So these individual lines, they really gives hints about how matchups are playing out beyond just the final score.
For sure. Role players stepping up, stars carrying heavy loads, playmakers controlling the flow. All key things to track.
Okay, let's look ahead quickly. Game 2s are coming up fast. Knicks and Pistons, April 22nd. What's the key there?
Knicks need to protect home court again, maybe get Brunson going more. Pistons need to find ways to score more easily inside and maybe tighten up defensively to steal one.
Celtics Magic, Game 2 is April 23rd. Orlando needs
points, consistent scoring, and they have to find a way to slow down Boston from 3, or it's going to be another long night.
Pacers Bucks, also April 22nd. Huge game, especially with Lillard's status may be uncertain.
Massive game. If Lillard is out again, Pacers have a golden chance to go up 2-0 heading back home. That would be enormous pressure on Milwaukee.
Cavs Heat, April 23rd. Can Miami bounce back?
Like we said, they need huge games from Harrow and Bam. They have to find some offensive consistency to avoid that 0-2 hole against a solid Cavs team.
West Side, Wolves-Lakers, Game 2, April 22nd. Lakers need adjustments.
Big time. Adjust to the physicality, find ways to attack Minnesota's defense besides just Luka iso ball. Can't afford to go down 0-2 heading to Minnesota.
Thunder Grizzlies, April 23rd. Can OKC keep the foot down?
They'll expect a much better fight from Memphis, you have to assume. Key for OKC is maintaining that defensive focus and keeping the ball moving. Don't get complacent after a blowout.
Warriors-Rockets, also April 23rd. Houston needs answers fast, right?
Yeah, especially on offense in the half court. Got to leverage their athleticism, try and even the series before it shifts to Golden State.
And finally, Nuggets-Clippers, Game 2, on April 22nd. Clippers need their stars healthy and firing.
Absolutely. If Kawhi and PG are closer to 100% and playing at peak level, they have a shot to steal one. If not, it's tough sledding against the champs in Denver.
So it's clear, even after just one game, the playoff picture is buzzing. Some results fit the script, others are already making us question our predictions.
Yeah, the dynamics of talent, strategy, momentum, even rest. It's
Yeah.
all coming into play immediately. Fascinating stuff.
And that really brings us to the folks listening. As you're looking at these Game 1 results, what jumped out at you?
Right. Which series feels like it could flip? Any predictions you're already rethinking?
Were there any performances maybe less talked about that caught your eye?
We'll be here following it all as these series develop, bringing you more deep dives. But for now, maybe mull over those game ones.
What stood out?
Mhm.
What are your revised predictions? Feel free to join the conversation. Until next time, keep watching the games.